It's nice to be here. My name is Danielle, and I'm originally from Townsville, right? Yucky. And when I was 19, right, I decided I'd leave Townsville and move to London for a few years. And I'm not sure if you guys are all aware of this, but Townsville's like a little bit different to London, right? And I noticed one of the biggest differences between Townsville and London on my first night in London when I was sitting on the top deck of a double-decker bus, and the man in front of me just started to smoke crack from a light bulb. And then he turned to me, he said, "Would you like some?" And that's when I noticed the biggest difference between Townsville and London, because in Townsville, we're not that generous. I'm just like, "That's my crack, Dad!" Now, good to be here. That's a pretty good observation I think I've made there. This next observation I've made is actually, nobody could relate to it. It was a everyday observation about my granddad. He's a country granddad. As I said, nobody could relate to it. This was the observation. It was, all country granddads love digging their own graves. No, it's not relatable. No, but my granddad, he has dug his own grave, and he's dug it just up the front of his property near where he's buried all his dead dogs over the years, because he says when he dies, he wants to be surrounded by the ones he loves, you know? But he hasn't dug Nana a grave. Or any of the rest of us, so fuck you, Grandad. If you loved us, you'd dig us a grave. Sometimes this bit doesn't go well. I know, hard to imagine. And one night I was doing this bit, and the audience, they weren't laughing, not one bit. And sometimes when that happens, I get inside my own head as to why they're not laughing. And in my mind, that night, the reason they weren't laughing was because they were all afraid of death. So then what I started to do was just sort of individually point out audience members and just sort of yell at them. "You're gonna die! And you're gonna die! And you're gonna die! We're all gonna die!" Yeah, so that's how bad this bit can get. So get on board. But my granddaddy has dug his own grave, and he's also he cemented in the sides of his grave because he says when he dies he doesn't want the worms to come and eat his dead body, you know, which is quite morbid. But in summertime we fill it up like a pool. So you win some, you lose some. Although if Grandad dies, you lose some, you lose some. Because you lose the pool. And Grandad. But in winter time, when the grave pool's not filled with water, my granddad, he just spends heaps of time down in the grave maintaining the grave because all the leaf litter keeps getting in, you know, so he's just always down in the grave getting all the leaf litter out. And my nana, she hates it. She's always just like, "Barry, stop spending so much time down in the grave. It's weird, it's weird." You know, and sometimes just to get away from the nagging, my granddad, he'll just go and get a deck chair and take it down to the grave to hang out, you know. He calls it his man grave. Thank you. Yes, that is a long joke. Also, one night I did that joke and a lady, she messaged me after the show and she sent me this message. She said, "My granddad has already dug his own grave too. Apparently, it is over $1,000 cheaper to have it dug before you die. And he could write it off as a tax deduction." Savvy granddad. But my granddad, he's got a daughter. I call her Mum. And my mum, she came down to visit me last year in Melbourne, and we're hanging out together. And my mum, she's the type of person, she just likes to agree with absolutely anything you say, even if she actually doesn't agree with what you're saying. So I overheard her having a conversation with my boyfriend, and he was saying how he likes to buy gifts for people that they will find useful. And then my mum just said, yes. And then I just remembered what she got for me last year for my birthday. What she got me was a necklace, and the pendant of the necklace was made out of a bent spoon. And on the spoon there were words engraved, and those words said, "There is no beauty without some strangeness." That's a neg. And also it's quite a short necklace too, so I can't eat with the spoon. No? That's not useful. But what she got my boyfriend for Christmas, she got him a gift card to a cooking store, which is useful because he likes to cook. But what she got me for Christmas was just a large scented candle, and the candle was scented with her perfume. That's psycho. And it's a big candle too. It's got 3 wicks. It's got a 90-hour burn time. And I live with my sister. She got one too. That's 180 hours of my mum lingering. Every time my sister burns hers, I just keep on having flashbacks to the worst moment from my childhood, which was one time I thought I had a tapeworm. So I got mum to pull it out. Don't worry, it wasn't a tapeworm. I just eaten a salami stick and I hadn't peeled all the paper off. That was my worst memory. And now it's yours. That's my worst memory. My favourite fact in the entire world, this is my favourite fact, I found this fact out about elephants, and it's that if an elephant's pregnant, right, and the pregnancy's not going so well, they can just sort of like reabsorb the elephant baby fetus back into itself, right? And when I heard that fact, I was like, cool. And now I just like to imagine just like 2 elephants out to brunch together, and one's just like a pregnant elephant, the other one's just her friend Patricia. And the pregnant elephant, she's just like, I don't know, Patricia, you know, like me and Mark, we've been together for 6.5 years now, you know. But he's just been such a dick lately. I don't even know if I want to be with him anymore. But I'm a year into my 2-year elephant pregnancy. Fun elephant fact for you there. And I don't know, I just feel so trapped and alone, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then Patricia's just like, babe. Do the thing. Self-abort. And then the pregnant elephant, she's just like, haha, yeah, lol, I forgot. And then Patricia's like, an elephant never forgets. And then the pregnant elephant, she's just like, hey, Patricia, guess I won't be needing brunch anymore. I'm full. And Patricia's like, more like empty, babe. 2 mimosas. Anyway, that's my elephant abortion joke. It's why they call me the most relatable comedian in Melbourne. No. Thanks for having me, guys. Bye.